are in 48 Callet, was it Callet?
Callet.
Rue, Brixton, with Charlie Harper, and cooking away. Where's that tea for Christina?
In this series of hot chefs, right, we're going to have, I'm afraid it's a vegetarian meal, and it's going to be macaroni cheese. But the difference is that this is punk rock macaroni and cheese, and you'll see how hot it will get later. So here you are. We first have the ingredients, and we're just looking for the macaroni. I seem to have displaced, I think, Lefty, the macaroni's down there somewhere.
Oh, right.
So all these people in my kitchen with cameras everywhere, and as you see, you know, I can't move about too much because there's too many cameras and things and lighting, you see. So we're going to try and proceed the best we can. And I'm going to talk to my friend Lefty here about the state of the UK subs, about the state of the UK subs right now, here now, in the beginning, the end, shall I say, of 1991, and what we are going to see in the future, 1992. So here we go.
Is there a fan club at the moment, or is there any plans to have a fan club?
We are actually, macaroni cheese, we are boiling some macaroni. They're bungalow because I think we're having a few people around for dinner. And another bit I dropped. Right. Well, you see, meet people on the road, and we have a stall with all our t-shirts and that, which we're very busy on right now. And they say, Charlie, I didn't receive my t-shirt. And I, well, where did you write to? Yeah. And there's all these, like, the record company outlet, where they've got a merchandising company, all sorts of these bogus people who are claiming to be UK sub fan clubs or whatever. And I'll say this here and now on camera, that the record company's okay, they won't con anyone, and if they send here at 48 Callet Road, we'll send them back, whether it's check or it doesn't matter what it is. But please make sure you get a return, like a little letter envelope, bit of paper with their address very clearly, because you'd be amazed sometimes. Anyway, yeah, just us and the record company, and we do the mail-outs. But we try and do everything on the road, so, you know, it's just, no one's waiting for any merchandise.
Right.
And that, because there can be problems. But there are a few people saying that they're doing, and they're a bit slow, they've got other jobs, and, you know, they can't be bothered. They think it's a lovely idea at first, and then they go, they can't be bothered just right, because it is sitting down, evening after evening, sacrificing your social life and sitting down at the typewriter right now, letters all the time. Right, for the cheese sauce we're going to make it a roux. Now, a lot of you won't probably know what a roux is, but it's just a simple mixture of flour and margarine. Now you see, we don't eat batter in this house because it's a little bit heavy, and I've got a cholesterol problem. There you go. Go on and do a dance, and it goes like this. Right, and quite a substantial knob of butter. Just let that melt very generously, and then Christine, if you just back up just about 6 inches, I can get to the cupboard where we should have some flour somewhere.
Oh look, you've got sugar puffs, my favourite.
Oh yes, that is my favourite breakfast.
Don't forget the honey, Barbie.
Oh dear, look at the flour. I think we can safely say it's all gone. There's some more somewhere, I hope. Dear oh dear. It's could be quite disastrous. We might have to stop the cooking, and well, never mind. We just do an interview. We've got the camera here, so never mind.
Right. So what are the plans for long-term future, if any?
Ah, long-term future. We were kind of planning to wind up the UK subs after next year. for various reasons. One is every punk band's here. There's a punk revival right now. There's all kinds of things happening. There's another big rock and roll swindle happening. There's all kinds of things, and there's this big money, putting money into all these bands coming back together again, and quite a lot of bands that has been jogging along for ages will be kind of squeezed out of the marketplace again. Yeah, and there'll be no, so rather than be involved in all this hype and all this kind of just complete bogus, you know, like people just doing it for money, not doing it for not even for art's sake or, you know, like anything. You know, it's like we were thinking we don't really want to be involved in it, so we will see how it goes. But we were thinking we're just like for instance, we're booked up into the middle of next year. In fact, to the end of next year, we've got an American tour at the end of next year where we've got to do an album for. So we'll try and do all the work that we promised we'd do, which is kind of contracted, as it were, and then go. Right, we might do another European tour, and that might be it. But it doesn't mean to say we're kind of finishing the business. It just means to say that the UK subs won't be doing great tours anymore. You know, we could be playing just not concert here and there, just for the fun of it, and not just to keep our, you know, like it won't be just to keep you know, ourselves going or anything like that. Just for fun. Meanwhile, I'll be on TV doing my cooking classes.
What part of the world have you not played in and you would like to?
Oh, well, yeah, there's the great Australian and tour, which we get an Australian tour every year. We get an Australian tour. Actually, I just found there was just enough flour. If you can see, the roux's coming. Let's get a little roux here. And I think that would do, actually. That's just enough. Look. See, that's roux is like making a cream of flour and margarine, as it is in this case. And we just make a nice little mixture. Just flour, margarine, it makes it into a paste. And that thickens up into a cream when you put the milk and cheese in it, and makes a brilliant cheese sauce. Now you can put anything you like if you like a lot of pepper and salt, people put nutmeg in for some reason for a cheese sauce, but I can't, nutmeg's like too kind of cakey for me, so I like to keep it a bit spicy. So we'll be getting to that bit in a minute. Meanwhile, I'll just put a little bit of milk in so it thickens up. And what was the question again, Lefty? I'll leave the milk out because I'm going to add some more, as that you've got to just put little by little and cream it.
Yeah, what part of the world have you not played and you would like to play?
Yeah, as I said, Australia. Every year we get a phone call and someone wants us to do Australia. And then we say, great, oh, this is so exciting, we want to play Australia. When can we do it? May, right, brilliant, May, that fits in. It's the end of the European tour, it's before the Irish tour, or, you know, and it's just before we go back to America again. So, brilliant, you know, and then we get a phone call, you know, like Christmas time, and say, oh, we can't do it then, we've got to do it in November. We go, well, November we're going to be in America, we can't do it there, you know, it's a... it happens every year after year, and it's sickening. And now, when someone phones up from Australia, say, well, yeah, we do, go on, just do it, and we don't take any notice anymore. And the same with Japan. That happens with Japan. Like every other year, there's something happening. Well, I should say every year there's talk about going to Japan, and never quite happens. One year they didn't, like, we put a bit of Japanese folk art, like tattoo, a woman with tattoos on her, in bondage on a record sleeve. They found that unacceptable, you know, at the time. Now I think it's okay, because a lot of things, they all come to the West and they saw how we live and how that thing doesn't shock anyone anymore. They thought something like that would shock us over in the West, but it doesn't. And which is crazy. And this is the kind of dilemma, you know, like just not just rock and roll, but the whole kind of political scene, the whole every kind of scene you can think of is like there's all these kind of paradoxes in, they thought that the West wouldn't like this, or they wouldn't like to see Japan seen like this. And this is how we see Japan. We see Japan as the one thing people see which is good in Japan is their ancient religion and their ancient arts and their ancient civilization. People don't want to know about Japanese copy cameras, their copy televisions. People don't want to know that. That's giving Japanese a bad name. Like, they copy them, and they've got a wonderful structure where they get out any weak points where something will kind of fall apart, break, and they study that weak point and they eliminate all the weaknesses, so their televisions work when ours fall down. Shouldn't really smoke when I'm cooking, but I'm going to cook slow because I'm doing this as well. So
I'm in another blue.
we can learn out of the Japanese is this this quality control where they kind of things got a weak structure in it, and they concentrate on make that they turn that weakness to a strength. That's the only thing we can learn off the Japanese, which we need here. We desperately need here. Otherwise, life's still a paradox.
Yeah, right. So, what did you think about the last UK subs tour in America? That must have been a bit special for you because you got married, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh, funny you should say that. Yeah. Yeah. The tour itself wasn't special at all. It was the same old tour. We go around America. We go into Canada. They take us back through America again, and then they want us to go into Canada for the second time. And we didn't want to do that, and the tour aborted before it ended. And then we had a lovely, like, month-long holiday before we came back. You know, so it ended in chaos. You know, as all our last 3 or 4 tours have of America. The tour ends in chaos, but we have a wonderful time because we're out in America and just enjoying ourselves, enjoying the American way of life, which is a crazy kind of great way of living. You know, it's amazing, and you know, any poor Americans are kind of rich by our standards. You know, like the homelessness there and everything like that. You know, it's not kind of a struggle. There are kind of soup kitchens and stuff like that, and it's fun going to the soup kitchen and getting your meals. If you're very poor, you know, you have a netta with your buddies and that, and you go on the beach and have a few beers, and the weather's lovely, and you don't mind being poor. It's not kind of the only people who mind being poor are the snobby people who've got an attitude. They, oh, you know, they don't want to ride around in a scratched up car or something. You know, it's just you know, people who are status conscious don't like being poor, but the rest of the people don't really mind.
Right.
To tell the truth.
How was your wedding out there? Did it go alright?
Oh, it was a right good piss up. Yeah, it was.
Was it in a church or a
No, it was in court. In court, which was it was great. It was a lovely day, but there was a sad side where we were getting married in this court in front of the judge, and my wife thought that, you know, it would just be me, her twin sister as a witness, and my guitarist, who was my best man, and someone videoing it. And it was strange really, because it was a big court, and you know, there was all these benches, and everyone who came there brought their family, and they were sitting on the benches, and it was a lovely ceremony, you know, like American jazz, and it was like for someone from over here to get married over there, and it was quite a nice ceremony. You know, the judge was very, very nice and very pleasant man. We just wish that the whole family could have seen it. It was a bit sad that they, her nearest and your mum and dad and everyone, you know, like couldn't be there, because it was a very nice, you know, like, ceremony. And as you see, we're still happily married. I bought her a shopping basket today. Look, this shopping basket, very nice shopping trolley.
It's a granny.
This is, yeah, Chris loves the shopping basket. It's full at the moment. It's chock-a-block. Well, I've just ironed a pile of them, but it's chock-a-block of our t-shirts. These wonderful t-shirts.
Yeah, tie-dyed ones.
Yeah. Which these are, you know, like we've printed them up, copied like the American, as you see, US tour one, because they were very popular. And people saw some which we had, and which liked them so much, and people in demand, and we said, oh, we'll roll up, but we'll do a reprint. We'll get the artwork back and we'll do a reprint. By the way, they were printed by Sophie, a girl called Sophie, who is a friend of Dave's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she done this wonderful, you can't, you know, you see it better on this one, because when they're on. Isn't that marvellous? Lovely bit of artwork there.
So how much is that going to set?
Sophie.
How much is that going to set you back? And how much are they?
Well, Sonia, I think. Sonia, yes. And so we've been doing all the tie-dye, and we go to this place up in up in Holborn, and Chris got to run back and forth and with all these t-shirts, so you know, it's easier for, you know, getting on the bus from here to Holborn.
Well, you get a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, it's quite heavy to lift.
So much are they? How much are the t-shirts?
T-shirts are tie-dye ones. There's a lot of work goes into them because like you've got to print them up and then tie-dye them, and you'd be surprised, you know, and then you've got to take them back to the laundrette to dry, and then you've got to iron them. And these long sleeve ones, which are a tenner, normally like long sleeve ones. About £20 if they're tie-dyed, and or if they're not tie-dyed, they've just got a print of about £20 in the shops. You know, with something for £10.
That's a good price to take for a long sleeve shirt. Yeah.
And they're really these are really good quality. They're never gonna, you know, never gonna go really thick.
Yeah, they look
great
like
for the
warm.
winter.
Yeah.
And we find we're in a recession right now. And T-shirts are the answer to the recession, because you don't have to buy shirts. You know, you just buy a couple of T-shirts, and you know, like I've got on like the sweater one, and you know, a T-shirt, and it keeps you warm in the winter. You don't have to, you know, pay out for like woolly jumpers and that. A couple of long sleeve T-shirts, and you're warm for the winter. So in a recession, everybody wants T-shirts. So.
Everyone buys something.
We're really hard at work on our hands and knees, ironing away and tie-dyeing, and you know, we're just like uptown and you know, printing some more every little, you know, time we get to stockpile for when we go on the road, and you know, they're sort of like hotcakes, you know.
There was a recent breakup of the band in America. What was that?
Yeah, as I was saying, America is so nice. Life is so easy over there. That two of the band wanted to stop in America. The drummer had a girlfriend over there, which is one of my girlfriend's my wife's best friends. She's now, and so he's gone back. He came over here just to tie up his things and you know, get his stuff together and put all his junk around his mother's place, and then he's gone back to America. Carl, our guitarist, stayed over there, and he never came back. So thank goodness that, you know, like Matthew was a great drummer. He's left, but we've got Pete Davies back on drums, who's our original drummer.
That's right. Yeah.
So you know, it's lovely for me to have Pete back in the band. It's lovely for Brian, and then. Because I knew Carl was leaving when I was in America, I was talking to a kid out there in the band, and he said he'd love to be in the subs, and I said, well, get your ass over there and you've got a job. So we got this American, but I don't know whether he'll stay. His mother wants him home now, so he might be home for Christmas.
So what is the actual names of the band members at the present moment?
Well, it's Brian on bass, Pete Davies back on drums, and Lars Fredrickson on guitar. I'll spell it for you later. He's kind of well, it looks like while we've been talking, everything's kind of been done here. The roux is really amazingly creamy, as you see. Amazingly creamy. Hubble, bubble, toil and trouble. That's like just like magic. That is. That's brilliant. And I shall put a little bit more. It's still a bit thick, so lucky we did have enough flour to thicken it up. We put a little bit more milk in, and see what happens with that amount of milk before we put the cheese in. As I say, you can put a little bit of grated onions in there if you like. You can put a little bit of garlic in if you like garlic. You can put anything, but I like to have my kind of cheese sauce tasting cheesy, you know, with no kind of added spices or anything, you know. A little bit of paprika maybe, or a little bit of salt and pepper actually will do the trick. A little bit of black pepper, and a little tiny bit of salt, and that's it. That's the cheese sauce. That's all I need in cheese sauce.
A big pub, isn't it? I think Max Rogers playing in town tonight. You can't stand the competition, you see. Hey!
many band members has it been in the band? There must be
Well,
loads.
yeah, the thing is, there's probably been somewhere near like 10 of each, except myself, that is. You know, we're going to Europe on like the 7th of January, and the band will be the completely different band that was in Europe the week before. I mean, the week before. That's good, yes. The year before. So it'd be, you know, like a completely different band, to see a completely different band in Europe. And sometimes I think this is the essence of our kind of appeal in Europe. We play to much bigger audiences in Europe, and you know, it's always a fresh band, and they've always got a fresh attitude. By the time we go to Europe, we've done the Christmas tour, and everyone's like wound up to do this big tour of Europe, and it's fresh and it's great. Everyone's keen and enthusiastic by then. By the end of the tour, it's a different matter. By the end of the tour, everyone's sick and, you know, like can hardly stand up and wants to come home. And then that's when questions start arising. No thanks. And but at the beginning of the tour, or mostly through the tour, everyone's very happy, very keen, very excited, and so when you come back to Britain, it's such a depression for most people when they come back to Britain. They've lived another life. In America, you live another life. In Europe, you live another life. And this is, I've got to have to say about the common market here. People are going to curse me for this, but I believe that the politicians are purposely trying to keep out the common market. They're trying to keep the people out of the common market, because if we only saw how they live in Europe, it's another life to us, and we're so behind, it's untrue, and we live in such dire poverty here. You know, if I lived in Germany, for instance, you know, the money I pay for this little kitchen and one room, you know, I could have a lovely apartment, you know, and you know, it's another life, and the kind of rot sets in when people come back to England from America or from Europe, and they're not satisfied anymore. You know, they want to live like they live, you know, and I don't care if there's a collective currency, you know, anything. It'd be better for us, because with the economic situation, we are forced to work outside England. We can't earn money in England, but we can earn money in Europe, and you know, and this is what we see as our future, and we've got no future if we're stuck here.
That makes me think of the CD situation. CD is getting out of hand. It's like it's making it more and more difficult for up and coming bands, because it's a lot more expensive to make CDs. Isn't that true?
No, I mean that's left to, it depends how successful a band is. If the vinyl's selling to a certain extent, I mean we don't sell a lot of vinyl. We're doing an album and maybe we'll sell only like 5,000 records. That's not a lot. When you consider a band to be quite successful will sell 100,000 units, like records or tapes. Now, when they get to that level, of course, there'd be CDs. They're making CDs of all our old records now, and I mean, for instance, we can't make an album until next year because there's too many CDs, old sub-CDs.
I mean, I was speaking to Nick Cash the other day, and Nick said to me, the band's going into CDs now because
no, that's old stuff. That's old stuff now.
He said to me he would like to get across to some more audience. He was afraid that he may be left on the way.
Oh right, yeah. Now, for instance, when we were first told that just one of our records was going to be made into a CD, normally, you know, a punk band would go, CD, that's for the rich people, and you know, that's nothing to do with us. I mean, I haven't got a CD player, and we've got about 10 CDs out. And but the thing is, you know, when we were told as a poor punk band that, you know, there's going to be a CD, we go, wow, you know, this is exciting. And now I show you. You know, I mean, this came in cut for now. We put the cheese in, and we're going to put it back because there was butter and milk. And you know, milk boils at a very low temperature, so we put it on a very small light, and now put the cheese in and put it back on a little bit higher light so the cheese melts into the cream. and becomes a nice sauce, and that is it. Oh yeah, no, we were talking about CDs. They're just some of the CDs that I've got. I noticed they're all in the packet. They've not been opened. I have not a CD player, so they're just like little keepsakes. And that's our first album, Another Kind of Blues, on CD. This is our second, Brand New Age. Now I've just given the third album on CD, which to Peter, so he can, which is Crash Course, which is a live album. It's got an awful lot of tracks on it, and Peter can learn a few more songs, because Peter, yes, he was on that. Yeah, he was on that, but he's forgotten quite a few songs. He hasn't been in the band since 1984. He was just rejoined. And also this Flood of Lies is one which he doesn't know too well, but we only do normally about 2 tracks off a Flood of Lies, but we do quite a few off the first few. But I'd say the first 2 he knows. He was with the band, and it's kind of a lot of that's quite fresh in his memory. It's only been 15 years, mind. Right, getting back to the cooking now. The macaroni's done. I've got to strain the macaroni. Right, if I could just move your body just for half a second. There. And get the strainer out of here. Good. While we're in the cupboard there, I found this is something very nice. It's this lovely salad bowl. Now, I love posturing myself. I love posturing. And on our travels, we usually play in art centres or community centres, and there was these beautiful pots, and I bought kind of set of these pots and little salad bowls and plates and stuff. And I had the great privilege. Her name is Maggie, and I can't read the second name, but I had a great privilege. Meeting, it's very nice to meet the actual person who made these, Maggie, girl from down in, I think it was Gloucester, and I think these are beautiful pots. And they're handmade by this girl, and they're so cheap. They were so cheap. This art centre.
Talking about art centres, what are your preferences for playing gigs? Do you prefer like the small...
You'll have to follow me out. I'm just going to strain the macaroni there. Just strain the macaroni.
Dun, dun, dun.
All the water out. And just leave it. That can be left now. That's done until it goes in the oven with the sauce. Now the sauce is getting very creamy, as you see. Very, very creamy. It's still a little bit lumpy. The cheese has only just melted, so a few stirs. And so we'll have the next question.
Yeah, so you were saying about you picking up that pot from art centres, so where do you like to
Well, this
play?
is great. Well, this is the thing about playing, especially in England now. I've said once that we don't earn really any money playing around England, except for our wonderful T-shirts selling money. That enables us to tour. It pays for the petrol. It pays for lots of things. Those T-shirts, you sell 10 T-shirts in one night, and that's £100 you got. You know, it pays for the van and all kinds of things. You have a daft gig, it can it can cover the gig. Of course, we don't sell 10 every night, and sometimes we sell more.
I want my cigarettes in.
Okay.
There's just a couple right there.
Okay.
The ashtray too.
My poor wife's out there all alone, and she wants to smoke.
Can you grab me an ashtray?
So we bought those cigarettes loose in the tobacconist. It's only like.
You got another one?
Yeah.
How much were they? 5p each, were they, honey?
No, I just.
Right, this sauce is wonderful. It's really wonderful now. Most of it's going on the floor. I hope none of it goes on the T-shirts. Right. And I can put those out. Now, this bowl. No, I don't like putting that bowl in the oven actually. I can put this one. This is an older one. I don't. That's my kind of best china, as it were. Whoops. There you go. One for the floor. And this is you can buy this. If you're in America, people won't bother to do this. they'll just buy a packet of macaroni cheese already made and just put it in a saucepan with a little bit of water and boil it up, and it tastes like rubber. It's absolutely atrocious. But you know, the real thing, macaroni cheese. And then what you do, that's the macaroni cheese for you, and you just grate up a little bit more, just put a little bit more cheese, just put a crusty topping on the top of that, and then put it in the oven for about 10 minutes, and there's your macaroni cheese. There's a wonderful program on very, very late night TV. It comes on about 3 o'clock in the morning about these kids who, obviously, you know, like, they're not exactly homeless, but, you know, they're just college kids and stuff, and, you know, they live in bed-sits, and, well, I don't know where they live, you know, their place is quite nice, actually, but they've got very little money. And they're making all these very, very, very cheap dishes, and they're even going down marketplaces and picking up cabbage leaves, picking up bits of carrots, and slicing the good bits out and making, you know, a hell of a feast for very little money. It can be done. We're in Brixton now, and a lot of people don't know this, but Brixton is a big, vast market town, and if you go down a market on Saturday, you can be starving. You go and see all the bums around here, and all the beggars, and they are, none of them are thin. None of them are as thin as I am. And because they can live on all the leftovers, this is, you know, Brixton is such a neat place to live because you can't starve in Brixton. It's such a big market, and you can get all the leftovers. You can get, I've been down there in the summer, and I've got melons left over, you know, all sorts of great stuff. And you can't starve in Brixton, no matter how poor you are. The only thing you can do in Brixton is have too much beer to drink, and that can kill you. You'll die of obesity in Brixton. And that's why it's so neat living in Brixton. A lot of punks live in Brixton, or used to. They've been run out because they stole from all the shops. And they've been you know, in the end, you know, the police kind of run most of them out. But I must have been lucky. I got away with it because, you know, I go to Europe and America for months of the year, and when I come back, I'm like a stranger in my own town. You know, I don't, you know, like, you don't recognise anyone anymore. You know, everyone's changed. They've arrested one lot, and there's another lot of punks and villains and everyone.
I'm going to ask you, what's the plans for the new album coming out?
It's going to be called Night of the Vampire. And, Night of the Vampire, that's right. We do our albums in alphabetical order, as you know, or you may not know, and we're up to N. And Night of the Vampire is a song we actually do it in the set right now. The album won't be out till like the end of next year. And we're going to try and make it our best album ever. You know, we've got some really good songs, very high standard songs on the album, and we want to keep that. We've got plenty of time to just, alas, you know, I mean, the guitarist will come out with maybe 3 songs or something, and you know, perhaps just pick one which is special, and it's got to be that every song is going to have to be special, and we've got like about 3-4 special songs, so we're virtually, you know, like, you know, almost done a side of the album. You know, we'll probably do about 8 songs a side, so we've got like a quarter of the album done right now, you know. Written, that is, written, not actually put down.
No more of that.
Hopefully I will out well.
plan from the beginning to do the albums in the alphabetical order?
This thing, I kind of think it was. I can't really remember, but it's just like one of those things which I had a thought flash in my mind. I thought, oh, let's do like the A album, start off with A and go through, because another kind of blues, this thing here, is too much of a kind of silly title to be. We could have thought of anything at that stage, and but I must have thought of it just before we kind of titled the album. Started with A and then went along those lines. It kind of well, it puts you in a kind of position where you can't have an open mind, but it's great really, because it's like doing this little trick trying to get an album on that letter, and it's quite neat really, because you think, oh well, it's the N album coming next now, what can we do, and we've really said to ourselves, we're not going to go for the obvious, like no something, which is too obvious, no music or whatever. Then another one was going to be called Negative Zone, where we were going to have a map of Brixton on the album, and as in like no-go area, negative zone, no-go area kind of thing. And there was going to be a song, well there is a song like this, but on the album, but it's got a different title. A lot of people in music always said it's more that what you don't do, what you do. There's so many bands coming along and they start from the one note, everyone's in there, and no one finishes until the last note, and it stops, and then they do another song like that, exactly the same, and after, the sound might be really interesting, everything's kind of going together and clicking together, but after a few songs like that, everything starts sounding the same, and this is what we're getting now, especially with a kind of dance music and stuff like that, everything's wrapped into one. There's a hit sound which everyone knows if they do that formula, so it works, and everyone's doing that formula, and it's becoming so boring, and the music scene is so stale now, and this is why, thank goodness, all I can say to them, go on doing your stale, boring, septic tank music, whatever it is, because we are loving it, and we are going from strength to strength, because people are coming to see punk rock now because they know punk rock music is the greatest music which was ever invented.
Yeah, there
you go, this is life. You've got to have that spiritual satisfaction. And there, we have to end the interview because dinner is served. Voila! Right, and that's hot chefs for you. Ta-da!
This one's for you. It's also Gin October.
Thanks a lot, cheers. Get a little story, right? You've got to be really quiet, really quiet. Shh. Lots of hush, lots of hush. Lager and lime. Oh, it's wine. That's not lager and lime, it's cider. Pete is going to conduct us. Or is he? Count us in, Pete.
Where's our fucking Christmas presents then?
Quite often I get to thinking, as kids how we got by, like Christmas time in our house, we couldn't even afford a fire. But we got by in our house. Back then when I was young, Dad used to suck a peppermint, and we'd all sit round his sun. We didn't have no tinsel on our Christmas tree, so we just ruled old Grandaddy and made the old cunt sneeze. Ah, tissue, bless you. Winning round the other side, Grandma. Ah, tissue.
Sounds like you got a bad cold.
Well, time goes so fucking fast. I've got kids now of my own, and I heard them unwrap their presents last night when I got home. Santa Claus, you can't with my fucking bike. I'm on that sort of summer jam, there's nothing what I like. Raise your fucking head and I'll come and see you twice. Get me out there, wanker, where's my fucking bike? Oh, what a pair of fucking sucker, what a fucking ass. Big box Santa paper tape and get all over your ass. What am I my order? Back to make a stew, not just this brain. My sister's kids on toe. Santa Claus is not. Where's my fucking pram? You promised me you fucking cunt, you know who I am. I'm the little girl you made sit right on your hand. Never mind your ho-ho-ho, where's my fucking pram? Next time I come to see him, then I'll fuck him in the gut. So he's fucking regular, if you're not living enough. 50 watts the next year, a week up in a store. Me and my little sister now rolling through that door. Cheers. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. UK son! UK son! UK son! UK son!
Dinner is over. We've eaten all the cauliflower cheese, as you see, and we can hardly stand up. was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
These people say it's a revival, but if anybody looks at the record books, that's a really good one. If anybody looks back, punk will always be alive as long as there's something to fight for. I mean, the revival, as far as you know, like Shams and I get back together and Chelsea doing their own thing and whatnot. I mean, the way I see it, as far as with the sub's concerned, my view of the sub's concerned, you know, they never really like lost what they had. What are you doing, guys? See, but then again, I'll just waffle on. You know, the Thames River is a very nice river, and I like to swim in it once. But punk revival, if it's called a revival, if it's going to be a revival, then it'll be dead in 2 years.
Actually got clean rubbish.
But if it's going to be a new movement,
But only, I think, how it is now, where it'll surface in the media's eye and then just go back underground again, not actually dead. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's the problem I find. See, a lot of people think punk is dead, but only because it's not in the media's eye, because they're showing Bros and Madonna and whoever else.
Right.
It must be dead because they're not seeing it. No. But it's because the media only wants to show one thing. They only want the up-to-date.
Well, see, the media, what it does to you, I mean, it like ignores everything that is somewhat positive. And everything that's negative, they just like zone in on. I mean, they make you believe that every black man's a crack addict, every skinhead is a Nazi, and just like everything like that. I mean, that's what the media does. It brainwashes the people, the public. And only the smart ones come out of it and like do something about it. As far as like, I mean, you see like in the 70s, like in the mid-70s, when you had bands like the Pistols and all those junk. I'm not too hip on the Pistols or whatever. But I mean, you had all these bands and these kids that were fed up with what the fucking people were telling them. I mean, it's like they just like were somewhat in a position where like, excuse me, Jimmy, but quote you, as soon as you're born, you're told what to say and do. And that's completely it. You're told to like go to a church, to be a religion. You're told to like get a job. You're supposed to have like 2 kids by the time you're 25. You're supposed to be married. You're supposed to, you know, have a nice little home and raise a family. I mean, I think that's why punk started, because kids like thought, well, I don't really want that. Even though that the whole public and the whole everything else kind of like expects you to do that.
Is that like the American, like, is that the way that you see like American punk style, or is that the way?
Well, see, I mean, when I grew up, as far as when I got into the punk scene, I mean, we were listening to the oi music, you know. But I didn't understand that the oi music over here was kind of a right-wing thing. Back home, it's very left-wing. It's about like the working class, and the working class, if anything, when you say working class, it means everybody. It's not specifically laying out judgment on like race, color, creed. That's anyway, consolation. That's what I grew up on. You know, oi music, Cockney Rejects, Blitz, Angelic Upstarts. I mean, the first punk band I ever heard was the Subs. Fuck off.
So, what other bands are you got into adventuring?
What other bands? What?
Are you going to venture into?
Oh, I was thinking about Kiss. Chelsea.
How about that band?
About Chelsea. I mean, I'm not a
About that band, what they called? About that band, what they called? The Bondi Straps.
Oh, the Bondi Straps. You know,
Yeah.
I heard their demo and I thought, fucking hell, what a great bunch of lads. You know, and you got this good, you know, bass player singer. He's like, you know, about as old as Charlie Harper.
So what about that singer? What's his name? The General.
That guy, yeah. Oh, he's a right cunt. But I mean, other than that, I like to be in a band with him.
And we're going to
about these
ask,
Chelsea boys?
we're going to ask Planet Lars.
Planet Lars, that's what I am, Planet Lars.
What local gay club?
Oh, wow. Here we go, we got
Oh, well, I like that bit, yeah.
Ooh, look at me, ooh, acid.
And what sort of bands were you into, like, when you got into bands? Like, when you was playing in bands, what were you influenced by?
Well, see, the thing about it is, in about the 70s, I mean, we had, like, Kiss. I mean, me and my brother used to, like, slow up and get to it. We used to, like, sit in my room and, like, get baseball bats. I don't know if you guys understand baseball bats. Kind of like a cricket stick, except for it doesn't have that long, flat little thing, you know, whatever. But we used to act like they were guitars and get off the effects. As I said, he does. We're pretty people. Lars, Lars speaks to us. Anyway,
General, get round there. Get round.
there's General. Hey, General.
That's General. This is General. Just zoom in on that
Zoom this up.
Bit more than that. That's
That's a stone skinhead. That's the ceiling. That's the pass-up look. That's a really ugly person. I can't figure out what that is yet.
And I've got a good question.
Okay, well, you didn't even let me finish my last one.
Oh yeah. I mean,
But I don't even remember it, so let's just even go on, you know.
And when did you actually come out of the closet?
And what terms of speaking?
Well, as in like Gene October terms.
And whoever wrote that question, it's about that guy right there with the green hair. I'm not a homo. I'm very much in love with the girl back home.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got a little question here. Anna from Croydon wants to know, when are you going to pay her maintenance money?
What are you talking about?
Well, it's this little thing we have over in England. Is when you get a girl pregnant and she has to you have to
This
pay
is not going home because I am not gay. What the hell? I thought this was going to be a nice little interview. We're going to sit back, have a beer, and talk some stuff.
All right, getting back to things.
See, what is this? What is this left?
What?
I'm not gay.
Wine Lars up,
I like that. Whoa! Get out of here. You know what, these Chelsea boys. See, that's the whole reflection about asking about why I'm gay. Is because you fucking homos are sitting there.
I'm faggot.
Well, maybe we can recruit one of the subs into our anal flinger. You know, and my asshole's exit only.
Could we have a look at the groupies? Could we have a look at the groupies? I mean, here on my right we have the General, and we have this fucking hippie here.
Not getting loud.
Me? No.
Hello, Mum.
Here we are now, a couple of days before Christmas. Actually, it's the 18th of December today. And there's rumours of a new UK subset coming out in March. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I mean, I think this one is going to put, like, I mean, a lot of people probably have thought that, like, the subs have, like, gone out and done a blues album and done stuff.
Could I just say, before you get in depth about that, Chelsea bringing out a new...
Oh, this is great.
Just bringing out a new EP, and it's going to be called Skin 2. And Lars should know all about that coming from America.
What are we on?
Coming back to the UK subs.
I don't like this interview anymore.
Isn't it? I mean,
Oh, that was just brilliant. Let's talk about that.
is this myth of groupies trying to steal your underpants true? I mean, I know when I was in Sweden on off for two and a half years, and I went to Sweden with 14 pairs of underpants. We do this one. we do this one, everyone. I fuck knows what it's called, but we do this one anyway. I was in Sweden. I'd been in Sweden a week. I'd taken £14 of underpants with me. And after 7 days of being in Sweden, I looked for my underpants and I couldn't find one pair.
Probably Gene.
No, Gene, I hadn't even met
Sorry, Gene.
then.
No, that rumor is completely, I don't want to get the record straight. True. Because of the fact that, you know, I mean, my underpants are kind of like one of those things that everybody wants to have. You know what I mean? Doesn't even have the words to his own song.
I'm not singing on the fucking bass player.
Yeah, right. I still know the words.
Well, this is off the last Chelsea album. It was called Underpants, Underwraps. And this was this.
Oh, would you quit plugging your band? It's just for the subs video.
Touching you.
Oh, sorry. You know about this.